Good morning, everyone. I am so glad to see you here. This is the last Sunday in May, and we have a special lesson on the power of the month. And the power for May is power. So at Unity, we believe in something called the 12 powers of man, and those are the powers that God gives us. So we don't have to be superheroes to have these powers. And so we're going to go ahead and start like we always do with our Offertory Blessing. And so we're going to hold our hearts or our money in our hand, and together we're going to say, Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. It's just like a magic penny, hold on tight and you won't have any. Lend it, spend it, and you'll have so many, they'll roll all over the floor. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more and more and more and more and more. All right, so next we're going to go on to our gratitude. So we always want to have an attitude of gratitude. Today, I am grateful for the long weekend. I had a great time on vacation with my family and friends. All right, and Thomas, what are you grateful for?
The experience of chopping wood.
All right, so he enjoyed chopping wood. What are you grateful for, friends? All right, and so today we are going to do rain shower as our mindfulness activity. And these activities are great. They have them in cards and I love them. They can be done in just a couple of minutes. So we're going to go ahead and sit up straight with our spine straight, and we're going to take 3 deep breaths in. And I invite you to close your eyes so you can really imagine with me. So we're going to start with our breath. Now I want you to notice if you have any busy thoughts in your head. Take a minute just to notice those thoughts. Now I want you to imagine that those thoughts are like dirt, little pieces of dust and dirt on your body, on the outside of your clothes. Now we're going to imagine that we're walking out into a warm rain shower. And imagine the rain washing away all the dust and dirt. And with it goes our busy thoughts. Now I want you to imagine that you are under the sun and the sun is shining. As the sun shines down on you, it dries your clothes and your hair and your body. And now we're going to take 3 more deep breaths in. Now I want you to notice how you feel and notice any thoughts in your head. Were you able to wash them away? So how do you feel after that? I feel very relaxed. But sometimes it takes time to learn how to let your thoughts just wash away. So I encourage you to practice this. Day after day, practice letting your thoughts wash away. Right? So today's lesson is about power. And our power comes from God. And the apostle that represents the month of May and power is Philip. And the color is purple. And the location in the body is the base of the tongue, the voice box. So what do you think that means? There are power in our words. Our words have power, and we have to choose them wisely, because when we say things, they can hurt people, but they can also lift them up, right? And there's other things that our words can do too. So the nature symbol is air, wind, and the ability is to have mastery of divine ideas, to speak words of truth. Power is the ability to have mastery of divine ideas and to use the power of our thoughts and words to bring these divine ideas into being. We are the power of God in action. True power is not about power over people or controlling circumstances, but the power of how we use our minds and our words to bring forth God ideas. Everything in the world is first created by something we are thinking. We can change our thoughts, and thereby we can change our lives. Positive thoughts attract positive experiences. All right, so we're going to read a story from the Children's Illustrated Bible. And the story that we're going to read is Jesus Calms the Storm. Jesus and his disciples were on the Sea of Galilee, aboard a small fishing boat. It was evening, and Jesus, tired from preaching all day, fell asleep on some cushions in the stern. Suddenly, a violent storm blew up. The sky darkened, the wind howled, and gigantic waves crashed over the little vessel. Frightened, the disciples shook Jesus awake. "Save us, Lord," they cried. "Our boat will sink and we shall drown." "Why are you afraid?" said Jesus. "Have you no faith?" Stretching his hands over the lake, he spoke to the wind and the waves. "Peace, be calm." Instantly, the storm died down and the lake grew still. "How great a man is he," exclaimed the disciples. "Even the wind and the waves obey him." So this is a picture of Jesus and throwing his hands up and calming the storm. Right. So in our story, what are the disciples afraid of? That's right, they're afraid of the storm, right? It's shaking the boat and they're afraid that they might drown, right? And when they go to wake Jesus up, they're like, "Hurry, hurry, wake up, save us." And what is Jesus' response? Was he afraid? No, that's right, he wasn't afraid. He said, "Have you no faith?" And he asked them, why were they afraid? And what does he do? Do you remember? That's right. He goes out with his arms raised and he tells the water to be still and be calm, right? and it listens. This is showing us how powerful our words are. So our words have an immense power over things. So when we use kind words and when we say positive things, it's encouraging, and we create a pleasant world for us to be in, right? All right, so we have a craft here, and I actually, as you can see, took this from a box. I just cut out a boat, and we're using a popsicle stick from a popsicle, and I used a piece of paper to cut out and make a little picture of Jesus. And so it doesn't have any legs, because all I'm going to do is tape it. You can tape or glue, use whatever you have. I'm going to tape it onto the boat. And you're welcome to color your Jesus in. And then putting my Jesus on my popsicle stick in the boat. And so we have Jesus in the water. Alright, and we have one more act. Alright, so we are going to make our boat and have water, and so I filled a pan up with water, but you could do this in the bathtub or in a sink or a big bowl or even a kiddie pool. The bigger the better. It's more fun if it's in a big space. And so I took a little plastic container that I have, and that's going to be my boat. And it floats. See how it floats on the water? And then I have a cotton ball for my person, but you could use a figurine if you have one at home. And I put it in the boat. And we can take a straw and blow and simulate how it was for the boat to move around in the water. And then you can even try to blow the cotton balls out and see if you can do that. So mine won't come out, but if you have a shallow pan, a shallow dish, yours will come out. You want to turn, Thomas? Looks like Thomas wants to try.
I think I can get it.
So, as you can see, you can have fun at any age doing this. And you can also, if you have something big enough, you can have multiple people blowing in, and you can even race your boats across. So I invite you to have fun doing the craft and the experiment. All right. All right, so as we come to a close, I want us to think about how we can wake up that voice. Because sometimes that voice inside of us, that the voice of truth, needs to come out, and we need to wake it up. So, what are some things that we can do to wake it up? These are all great ideas. We definitely have to focus on the positive, connect with God, and really listen to Spirit. And let Spirit guide us. And then we have to be willing. We have to be willing, and we have to have faith. So sometimes we have to remember to speak our truth. A lot of times I feel like we do that, but then there are other times that we might get scared, and we have to remember to speak up anyways. All right, so I am so happy that you joined me today for this lesson, and we're going to go ahead and close with our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and we are grateful. Amen.